Before I start this video out, I'm going to shout out SendCutSend for supporting the channel, as well as they're giving me a discount code to give you guys. So it's Junkyard Dave discount 15. It gives you 15% off your SendCutSend order. And like I've said before, and you guys see me use their products, it's just very convenient to send a file off to them, get it cut. They're also offering powder coated parts. So if you send your part, pick whatever color you want to have it powder coated, they'll send it back to you ready to install. But let's start this video and get these lower control arms fabbed. I now have the fixture pretty closely mocked up. What I'm gonna do is weld these first plates right here. Then I'll flip these bolts around. And the reason why I flip these bolts around is they actually have a nice shoulder that centers on the hole, which is very, very nice. So when I flip it, it will be perfect. Then we'll weld this, and I'll also weld this side when I weld this, because I need to actually use my little plate that I had and come out, and the control arm's actually gonna be that wide. Finished making everything for, or hopefully everything for, the front lower control arms. As you can see, I made these so they just press in, and it was a pretty tight interference fit. So I think it was like 25 to 30 thousandths, which usually 20 is a lot. So they do, you know, have to be pressed in there. I just copied what the interference fit was of this knuckle, and you know, they went in there, so I think we're good to go. I also made the mounts for the QA1 spherical bearings for the pickup point for the shock, and then a bunch of other stuff so I can get these fixtures finished. I didn't have to, but to press these bushings out, in and out, these are a very tight interference fit, and obvious reasons you don't want this bushing to come out on your lower control arm when you're doing 200 miles an hour. So I made it thicker so I could have a nice ridge to actually press it in and press it out. On the top you can see I made a special tool to actually just fit on that ridge, but you can see there's not very much of a ridge there. But I have new bushings, but to weld these all up I didn't want to use the new bushings and mess up the boots, because these ones are already kind of, this one isn't bad, the other one's kind of burned. But to make that higher, it's a lot larger, as you can see right there, a lot taller. But on the Charger knuckles, I don't know where they're at, it has, from the hub center to the bottom, it's a lot more, you know, there's a lot more room. But I'm going to use the Trackhawk knuckles to start with, so I could actually get the car going and be, you know, all Trackhawk drivetrain, have the all-wheel drive in there. And this was pretty much luck. So not really, I mean, not 100% luck, but it just doesn't, look at that, she's clear all the way around. I mean, it's not going to spin, but it's definitely going to move, and it's gonna be great. So I'm really happy that it's not, you know, it's not gonna have an issue with this area right here. And I stuck this axle in there, and there's plenty of room for the axle, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. So let's get these lower control arms made, and then I can start worrying about some other things after those are made, like the sway bar location. So I have the factory Scat Pack sway bar right here, and they're on the Scat Packs and on the Hellcats, the Challengers, Chargers, they're all mounted on the back. On the Trackhawk, the sway bar is mounted on the front. But since I mixed all the suspension up and I'm using lower control arms, pretty much the same setup as a Hellcat, but on the all-wheel drives, the sway bar goes through the center, but the diff is in the oil pan, so I couldn't do that. So I think I'm gonna use this setup right here. It's a little bit further back, but I wanna have that lower control arm done so I could put the lower control arm, the knuckle on there, put a wheel on it, and make sure that this position for the sway bar isn't gonna have any issues. On my Hellcat, the wheel actually at full lock rubs right here. So besides that, you know, I'll have to make some custom sway bar end links, because these ones don't turn and they're not very happy about turning. But I'll just make some custom ones, and then I'll just go to right there and work out really well. I really love this subframe. I just want it to be done. So another thing, the steering rack, you know, I'm going to use a factory Trackhawk one for now, but I do want to go back later on and design a steering rack and do the, you know, billet knuckles and do all that other stuff. So let's get these lower control arms fabbed up. So unfortunately, I'm having issues with the Charger front lower control arms I was making out of tube. So in the beginning, I thought this back side was going to interfere with the wheel, and I was going to have clearance issues with that. But this back side fits perfectly. I have more than enough steering angle, no concerns there. On the other hand, the front side, which I didn't think was going to be an issue, the rim actually hits it, and then I'm only getting, you know, I'm getting 5 degrees, probably getting around 5 degrees less steering angle than factory. I didn't want to do this, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make temporary lower control arms. So I'm going to have to end up making billet front lower control arms, because I'm going to make some that are going to work, and they'll probably look really good. They'll be adjustable, but at the end of the day, I'm going to have to make billet knuckles. I might as well make the lower control arms in the front really nice, make them out of billet aluminum, and just kind of cut my losses. But I want to get the Charger running and driving So I'm gonna make some temporary lower control arms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do something that I didn't want to do, and I'm going to just, so this is too far out. I can't make a tighter bend with that with an 1.5 inch die, because then you'll start getting creasing in the tube and it doesn't work out very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these come off straight with a little tiny piece of straight tube in there on both sides. Then I'm going to connect it either with a straight piece or with like a, I think this is like a 30-degree bend, and then just connect it in, and then I could build off this center section with two similar bends like this, but not, you know, not that close, because I need it to come out so I have more room. So something similar to this or something similar to that, and we'll just kind of make some control arms that are going to look really good and they're going to work, but at the end of the day, it's not what I wanted to do, and I really liked how these were coming out. But let's get to work on these, get these finished up. Charger front lower control arms are now completely 100% fabbed up, and I really like how they came out. So I was questioning coming off of these straight, but there was no way to bend a tight enough radius to clear the wheel at full lock. So now these are pretty much drift lower control arms, because if I put skinnier tires on the front, I should have all the angle I'd ever need. So when I put the car in rear wheel drive mode, I'll be able to do some crazy donuts and some crazy drifting with it. The straight pieces right here and here are very, very strong, which is really nice, because this bend, a straight piece is going to be a lot stronger than this bend. I was able to get this tied in, and I have the QA1 Heims. I'll put the link in the description for those, as well as the QA1 spherical bearing up here. It's not in there yet, but I'll put the link in the description for that. And then I'll put the link in the description for Send Cut Send. And I also have a discount code. So if you guys go on Send Cut Send's website and use my code that is in the description, you'll get, I believe it's 15% off, and it's really, really nice being able to send stuff off to Send Cut Send, and they offer powder coating now, which is a plus. And I'll also be doing kind of a giveaway with some stuff that I'm gonna have them cut out and powder coat just to showcase their new powder coated parts. So I'm gonna end the video here. I'm really pumped about these lower control arms finally being fabbed up. Like I showed you in this video, there was a lot of engineering that went into these, trying to figure out how I can get these to work, because I was having so many issues with steering angle and all that stuff. So I'm really happy that these are finally ready to weld up. But gonna end the video here. Like I said, check out QA1 in the description. Also check out Send Cut Send in the description. If you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.